What's going on? What's going on? Welcome back to the channel, One Man's Walk. I am your host, Gamal, back at you with another one. And so what we have for you today, I'm very excited for. This is the first time on the channel that I have gotten the opportunity to do a review on a gospel album. This is actually one of my favorite gospel artists. I think he's absolutely amazing. The projects that he does is so inspiring. And so Israel New Breed put out 2 projects this year. Feels Like Home Part 1, Feels Like Home Part 2. I'll probably record them together, but definitely I'll separate them as they are their own individual albums. They will be their own individual reviews. Almost was recording a video and literally almost forgot the props. You guys know when it's an artist I love, I need you guys to know that it's real. It's not something we making up. We got this one right here. We got this one right here. We got this one right here. We still going. We got this one right here. This is my favorite though. This double CD right here is my favorite. And we got this one right here. So you guys know when I tell you guys, hey, I really do enjoy an artist, and being able to now on the channel go back and record some of these artists with their new music and kind of give my thoughts when you guys can see that I am true fans of these artists and, like, you know what I mean? So I do enjoy it. So yeah, I literally almost forgot that. So I'm just gonna edit this right into the video. All right, so let me take one headphones off, hear it a little bit better. Nah, I'm gonna keep it on. So I'm very excited. As you guys know, I do love gospel music. You guys know I'm saved. I like rap. I really do love rap too. I love R&B. I love pop. We've done Adele on the channel. We've done Anthony Hamilton on the channel. We've done Meek, and the Wale's coming sometime later this week as well. But I felt it was time to jump into the gospel as well, because I'm all in for the gospel as well. And this Israel New Breed CD has been so great. Now, personally, I'm gonna just throw it out there right now. I like 1, I love 2, okay? So I'm just throwing it out there. I like 1, I love 2. But let's dive into it. So what I've come to expect from an Israel New Breed, Israel Houghton, but Israel New Breed album, and this is actually really great. It's actually on YouTube. You can actually watch the videos of the project, the in-house studio concert thing that he did, him and his wife Adrienne Bailey, I think is how her name is. I guess Houghton now, but it's really good. But let's just dive into it. I feel like I'm talking already, but I'm excited. So first song, Sanctuary, Alpha and Omega, Total Praise. And with Thanksgiving, I'll be a living. So I don't know how I'm gonna do it. I don't know how gospel works. If you get the same copyright claims that you would if I did this for this extent of time for Adele or Meek or somebody like that. But so the very first song is a melody of sorts, or renditions of records that we already know. I can't think of who does Sanctuary in my head. I want to say it's Kurt Carr. I think Kurt Carr has Sanctuary. Alpha and Omega is actually from the Live South in Africa, Life in South Africa, Israel New Breed double CD, which is a classic. That is a clean your house music project for sure. That Israel New Breed. And then Total Praise is the Richard Smallwood. And so it's a rendition of all 3 songs. I'm not gonna play all 3, but that's a go. The next song, Echo, is cool. This first CD to me is going to be more praise related. Now, as we get deeper into the CD, we're going to get a more of the worship, which is what I tend to gravitate to. Nothing wrong with praise songs. Praise songs are amazing, and there's some really amazing praise records that are out there. But I tend to, when I'm listening or I want to focus more, I tend to want to listen to worship songs over praise songs. That's my personal thing. Obviously, other people may feel differently, and so that is probably another reason why Volume 2 I enjoy so much more. And Volume 2 has somewhat more original songs. Obviously, it's still some renditions, but I'm gonna skip over the echo. I like this third song, Free Indeed. Bring it up, son. It's free indeed. Already amazing record. And I just love, sometimes we forget, and sometimes, like, you have a bad day at work, you have a bad day at home, you have a bad day with your health, you have a bad day with your spouse, your bad day with your children, your bad day with your finances, a bad day at the grocery store, whatever it is. And sometimes you have to be reminded that who the Son sets free, meaning Jesus, is free indeed. Who the Son sets free. It's not who I decide I'm going to set free. It's if God has said, I'm going to set you free. You are free indeed. And sometimes you just got to be reminded. And that's what I love, because it's not always with his music. It's not always about this very complex thought process and diving into deep. I love to deep dive. Clearly, I like to deep dive into lyrics. I'm here for the deep dive, but sometimes you just need the simplicity of knowing who the Son sets free is free indeed. And it speaks volumes to me. I absolutely love that record. The next song is a kind of like a reprise of that. It's called Glory Days, Free Indeed, but we're going to skip over that. The next one is a Corridos medley. That's a completely Spanish song. He has one later that I really love, so I'm going to skip over that as well. The next record is How Great Medley, and it's the How Great You Are. And so it's a medley. So it starts off with the Spanish, and then we get into it. So it's something about when he slows it down. It really feels like he's communicating, like he's really talking. Because so we have some guys in my church who, when you can tell when they're just singing, and like the song is on, the melody, whatever, and they're going, and you can tell when the words that they're actually saying has hit them, and it transition from singing it to feeling it to embracing what the words are saying and then applying it in their own lives. It's almost like a flashback. Like it literally does like a transition of different things, and you can just see it. And I always love that. And I feel like that's what his songs do sometimes. It's more so about not just singing the song, but in hearing what I'm singing, taking myself out of the song and the lyrics and everybody being around and putting myself in, oh crap, you are my deliverer. Oh Lord, you are great. How great you are. I start thinking about what you've done in my life, what you're doing currently in my life. Doesn't mean that everything is going great. Doesn't mean that every day is this great day. But I recognize and I understand that whether the day goes well or goes not so well does not have any precedence on whether or not I decide to say, you're still great, God. And that's what I love sometimes about being able to step outside of the music. And I'm telling you, there's certain people at church, like that's what happened. They start off and they're just singing the song, and it's praise or it's worship, and they're just singing because they're on the praise team. That's what they're supposed to do. That's what their assignment is for that week or whatever. That's their ministry. And then you can see when it really hits them, and it stopped being about, I'm here to minister to someone else, and now it's about God ministering to me. And so it's always really cool, and I really think that he does a great job with that. The next song, Promise Keeper, this was actually the song he has now. This version is with someone named Infinity Song, who I feel like that voice sounded familiar. I couldn't place it, but I feel like it's somebody who's worked with Chandler Moore. If you're familiar with Maverick City Music. But the Promise Keeper, now this version is still cool. Let me not twist it. But the version that I really love is the version on the last solo CD. I can't think of what it's called off the top of my head, but it's the Israel Houghton CD, and that version has Travis Green on it, who I love. Travis Green has I probably will do a review of the new CD he has too, but Travis Green has the Intentional CD, which I think is probably in my top 5 just all-time favorite gospel albums. I just think front to back it is a 100% clean your house music CD. But I'm gonna still play it because I like this Promise Keeper. It's still a really good song. I'm telling you, I love the piano. When them keys kick in, it is just, here we go. Promise Keeper, you will never fail. Your love is true. Her voice is crazy. I'm all in. I don't know how I'm gonna do it because I don't know if I'm gonna get flagged for this for playing so much of this, but it was so worth it. That piano is still nice. Now I still love the Travis Green song because I like how his voice sounds on it. But this young lady's voice sounds amazing, and there's something about it. You know what I mean? Like some raspy, some soft to it. It's really nice. But the concept of God, you're a promise keeper. Think of the amount of people that break their promises to you. Look at the many people, I tell people all the time, I've said it before, Kristen and I think I've said it on a previous episode or video or whatever, Kristen and I at some point were looking and being like, all right, this isn't working. We're probably going to have to go separate ways. And at that point, we had made a promise when we were, what was it? We're coming up on 15 years married. So like 2 years ago. So coming up on 13, or we were already 13 years married, whatever. And we were going back on a promise we made 13 years prior, or 12 years prior, about I would be with you in sickness and health, through better or for worse, till death do us part. And think about the times that people break their promises. Friends break promises, spouses break promises, parents break promises, children break promises, siblings break promises, bosses break promises, employees break promises. Everyone is breaking promises. But God is a promise keeper. There is never a time that I have to worry, is God going to keep his promise to me? I don't have to worry about Jesus keeping his promise. Jesus is going to keep his promise. Am I going to keep my promise to him? Am I going to keep my promise to those who I said I've made promises to? That's where it lies. But being able to say, promise keeper, you will never fail. Your love is true. So many times, I think that love gets thrown around extremely loosely, and with God, we can be assured that, man, that love is 100%, you know? And he says, promise keeper, you deliver on your word, and I will trust you. Not to flip it, but I like to give illustrations. You seen the movie Scarface? Al Pacino says, I only have 2 things in this world, and I won't break them for nobody: my balls and my word, right? He recognized and understood he's not backing down, 1. 2, his word has to mean something. And so you may not have clothes on your back. You may not have food in your stomach. You may not have money in your bank account. You may not have anybody that be around you want to support you, but you can still stand on what you say. You can stand on your word and say, I'm gonna honor what it is that I say I'm gonna do. There's this, when I still had social media, there was this post that I remember seeing that I kept, and it said commitment is, I'm paraphrasing now, I don't have the verbiage, or maybe I'll just hang it up here, but commitment is continuing in something long after the feeling to do it that you committed in wanting to do it has long gone. Like, that's what real commitment is. It's sticking with something long after the feeling you set it in has passed, and whatever the verbiage is, but that's the gist of it. And the one thing we can believe or trust in is that it doesn't matter when, God is always there. He's a promise keeper. I said, man, I love it. And so the next song, this song right here has been in my head literally for like the past week and a half. Been dealing with stressful stuff at work and all type of things I want to have to deal with, but it is what it is sometimes, right? But this song almost every morning, because I don't really set an alarm. Like, the Lord legitimately just wakes me up at, I don't know, 5:30, 6 a.m. Just wakes me up, and I come down right down here in the same area where you see, and get up and start my day trying to pray, read, and stuff like that, and get myself together. And so, you know, every day can't be rap, R&B, or whatever other stuff. Sometimes really you need to just clear your head. But this song right here, Your Presence is Heaven, literally, we're gonna bring it up to my part. It don't matter if it's not to you, but to me, your presence, I can't sing, is heaven to me. Yeah, that has been in my head, like, literally it has been in my head. And then this next song, the song right after, Nothing Else, because that song is really super short. That Your Presence is Heaven is literally, it was 1:36. The next song, Nothing Else, is, I have played this song to no end. I'll probably stop the video here. Like, literally, it's a really good CD. To Worship You I Live, which is one of their biggest records, does play later on in the CD. And To Feel Like Home is really good. Don't Want to Leave, Breathe Into Me, really good records that follow this. But I just want to probably end it on this, because this is the epitome record to me. I'm caught up in this holy moment, I never want to leave. We're going to speed it up some. This right here. The realization sometimes you guys just say I'm sorry. When I'm just going through the motion, I'm sorry. I'll just sing another song. Take me back where we started. Jesus, I'm sorry. When I come with my agenda, I forgot that you're enough. Listen here. I'm trying to tell you, this record right here is so good. And then he continues on. We get down to this part right here, because then he's going to get into like this part where he was like, the realization is, I'm coming back to the heart of worship, and he's like, nothing else matters. And sometimes we have to get to that realization. It can't be about the video games, though I love my Xbox, right? It can't always be about the video games. It can't be about the wife. I love my wife. It can't be about the kids. I love my kids. It can't be about the sports. I love my sports. Sometimes we got to break it down to a simplicity and say, no, Lord, I need to get back to you. And that's what the whole I'm sorry. Because at one point in the song, he's actually talking, and when he's talking, and I like when they do the talking, the kind of, him and Willie McDowell do great jobs of the talking in between the records, letting the melody play, but kind of just talking it out, talking it through, making it feel like open form. But he says that, you know, during quarantine, right before the I'm sorry part, and he's like, man, in quarantine, how much time was spent, you know, where we had to come to a realization, because we would be in worship, and if the praise team is not singing a song we like or a song we don't know, we not giving God no praise. We kind of sitting down. He said you might be scrolling through Instagram, you drinking coffee, doing something else in service. And he was like, man, how foolish is that? Like, God is good all the time, but we put these parameters on when God can be good, right? And so when he realized it, that's why I said sometimes you just gotta think. And he realized, he said, you know what, Lord, I'm sorry. I'm taking you for granted. I'm taking advantage of the situation. I'm sorry. And so this right here, I just want you. Nothing else. Nothing else. Nothing else will do. I just want you. Nothing else. And so now this is where he flips it, and now we get the Spanish version that. Te quiero a ti, nada más. Nada más. Which is nothing else, right? Nada más que tú. Nothing else but you. I quiero a ti. I just want you. Nothing else. Nada más. This might be Adrian. It's been my go-to all week, and I probably just want to end it with that. It is a really good CD. I personally can't wait to get into 2. I do love 2 more, but this is still a really good CD. Definitely worth your money, definitely worth your time, definitely worth your stream, definitely help get you in the right mindset that you want to be in, that we want to be in, preparing ourselves for worship, kind of getting away from everything. And I know it's different, but I love gospel. You're gonna get more of these gospel reviews. You're gonna get more of these as well. And so, as always, I just hope you guys have a wonderful, blessed, productive, stress-free day, weekday, weekend, whenever you're listening, watching, however. Till next time.